I wouldn't mind an increase of the amount of teams in the World Cup because I get it. It's like I think more people would watch if more nations were involved. All you'd have to do is add one more game per group. Then you'd have 10 extra teams. This is what I'm saying. I don't know. Maybe it's just because Scotland suck and are never in the World Cup that I want those extra spots.
Just to give them a chance of getting in just once.
Exactly.
Welcome back, guys, to the front office report. I'm here with Dan today. How are we doing, man? You right?
Good. Excited for the semi-finals. Feels like yesterday that this just started. Like the Euros just started, and all of a sudden.
I was literally just gonna say that it's been so quick.
Crazy. Like 3 games left. That's sad.
So gone from when we were watching it like every day.
I know.
Was it like 2 or 3 games a day?
Those were the days.
Those were the days. So yeah, we're into the semi-finals. Obviously, guys, I'm sure you're all aware. Two big games. We're gonna have a chat about Spain against Italy today. We're gonna put out another video for the England-Denmark discussion and preview predictions and all that. So do tune in for that. Keep an eye on that. If you hit the subscription button, subscribe, it'll pop up in your box when we put it up. So yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of chat about Italy-Spain, which I think is probably the marquee game of the semi-finals. I'd say
could be a final. It feels like it
genuinely could
sounds like a final. Yeah.
I mean, it's two massive teams. What do you take out as maybe the biggest sort of story of the game, or what's sort of kind of coming up to you most in terms of what you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I mean, I think these are two very contrasting teams. When you look at Spain, they're just so pass orientated. So I think the stat here that I have is they lead the Euros in possession. Of all their games, they have currently 67.2% possession, and they're also leading in the category of passing accuracy at 89.4% accuracy.
Passing, yeah.
You can tell just by those two statistics that they are a very, very pass heavy team. And then Italy, I feel as though Italy are going to set up for a counter-attacking game, because Spain do leak those goals. We saw in one game that they let in 3 goals, and it wasn't against a particularly good side. So, I mean, if I'm Italy, I'm thinking we just have to defend inside the box, because Spain, every single one of Spain's goal has been from inside the box. They haven't scored a single goal from outside the box. Pack that box, make it really difficult for them to basically pass it into the goal, and then just try hit them on the counterattack with their quick players, because Spain are not great at the back. They've had those mistakes. They've had that stupid pass back to the keeper that went over the keeper's foot. They had that one that bounced off of Pau Torres and went in front of the other player. Like, we've seen a lot of mistakes from the Spain's back line. So I really think it's going to be that kind of game.
Yeah, I personally, I think if you look at the results coming into this game, I would say all of the sort of the momentum is with Italy. I would say Spain, it has been quite a sort of a stop-start tournament.
Difficult.
Sort of started really poorly, couldn't seem to sort of get going. They were struggling to get goals. Then they've had a couple of games where they seem to have warmed up a bit. Then in the quarterfinal, they struggled a little bit again. It seems to be really sort of stop-start. I mean, Italy have won the last 14 of their last 15 in European matches. Although then you look at Spain, who were undefeated in their last 15 as well. But I completely agree. I think the contrasting styles could make for a really, really exciting game. I could see Italy really, they want to pressure, they want to push. That's something that Mancini has really been hammering. You can see that when they play, that they want to counterattack, press the ball, win it high up the pitch, and go forward.
I think that's the thing, though, is like Italy seem almost comfortable not having the ball. And they're just like, okay, we can handle this because we know we can score, we know we can defend. With Spain, when they're in possession, they look very, very comfortable passing on the ball really nicely, the classic Spain way. But when they're out of possession, it's like it's a panic almost. Yeah. And you can see that in the central defenders. Azpilicueta is so high up the field trying to cross those balls in. There's no cover back on the left-hand side or the right-hand side. It's just exposing those two center-backs. And I think they're really uncomfortable when they don't have that ball. And I don't think they've really come up against a team that is quite as deadly as Italy yet. And therefore, I think it's going to be quite a difficult game because they're defensively just not looking great when they don't have the ball.
Yeah, and I think the one player that has sort of been highlighted to me. I think it's Pau Torres, the centre
Mm-hmm.
back, who's had a couple of tough games. I think he
Yeah, he
came on
has.
in the
But
game that
he's a pretty good player because he plays for Villarreal, and obviously as an Arsenal fan, we know all
you
about
know about it. Yeah,
Villarreal.
he
So
played them all the time. Yeah,
they're a good. He's a good centre back, but it just
yeah.
seems like on the internationals, it happens to everyone. There's certain players who perform well for club, and then for
Mm.
country, it's a completely different story. And I guess that's what happens when you try replace PK and Sergio Ramos
Yeah.
with Eric Garcia and Pau Torres. It's night and day between the two sets of players.
I think they've been quite lucky that Laporte has actually switched nationalities, because as much as I'm a Liverpool fan, I don't want to admit any Man City player is quite good.
Yeah.
Laporte is solid. He's a good
Yeah.
centre back. It's that sort of second centre back that they don't seem to quite have the sort of quality that they've to match the two. I think one thing that I am really looking forward to seeing is how Italy have sort of replaced that left-hand side. Obviously, Spinazzola, probably possibly one of the players of the tournament. He's been outstanding for Italy on that left-hand side, almost as the left wing back. Injured in the last game. I think he did his Achilles tendon. He's going to be out for
6 months or
6 or 8 months. Which is a massive loss for Italy. So I think it'll be interesting to see how they sort of play without him there. I think Emerson is coming in for him likely, which I mean that drop in quality. Emerson, who's not played a whole lot of football this year for Chelsea.
I can't even remember him playing a game for Chelsea.
I don't remember him putting that shirt on very much at all. I mean, I think they still have some fantastic attacking options, and they've played some brilliant football, I think, over this tournament. I think if Italy go on to win this, I think surely one of their players has to play the tournament. I did see today actually on Twitter. I'm sure one news outlet was reporting that Jorginho could win it, which I think of the options.
When you hear that name, it's like, I mean, what?
really now. I personally think it's out of that Italian team. If Spinazzola, I think, had been able to play through the whole tournament, possibly him. But if not him, it's got to be Insigne for me. I think.
He's fantastic.
He's had a brilliant tournament.
Well, you can just tell by the transfer rumors going around this Italian squad, because suddenly everybody in the Italian squad is being sold to like Juventus or Arsenal or Chelsea. It's like, it's just weird. And I think one other thing we have to talk about is perhaps the struggles that the Spanish front couple players, whether it's Moreno or Morata, what's going on with those guys? Because they seem to have an abundance of opportunities to score. Certainly Morata has, and they just can't seem to find the back of the net.
I mean, it's a difficult one, because Spain have always had, I think we may have had this discussion in a previous video talking about Spain. They've always had fantastic striking options over the years. You look at some of the famous Spanish strikers like your Torres, Raul, the list sort of goes on. This is probably the first time in quite a while that they haven't had someone that when they get in that one-on-one situation, you're putting your money on them putting it in the back of the net. Exactly. I'm sure in the group stage there was a stat floating around that Spain had the highest expected goals number through the group stage, but out of sort of all the teams, they were in the bottom 5 for actually putting it in the back of the net. I don't know what lack of confidence. I mean, what
I think for Morata it is. I think it's just for the team in general, the lack of confidence, because they seem very comfortable. It's kind of awkward because most teams seem to be very like jittery when they're in possession, and they're not good at keeping the ball and building around the play and everything, and they're fine putting it in the net. But with Spain, it's the other way around. They're fine having the ball, playing it around, being patient, having 60, 70, 80% of the ball. There's just that final third. It's just not working for them. And the thing is with Italy is that they have more clearances, more interceptions, more blocks, more clean sheets, and less goals conceded than Spain. They've only conceded 2 goals in the entire tournament, and they've played some more difficult teams than Spain have. So that's worrying for me that they've only allowed 2 goals in, and Spain struggle to score goals. So it's kind of like just a red flag waving, like, hey, maybe something needs to change with the team. But Luis Enrique seems to be adamant about starting Morata. It's like every interview is like, Morata is the first name on the team sheet. He said that time and time again. Morata is the first name on the team sheet, which is, for me, he's not the first name on the team sheet, but it is what it is. And one other thing that's, I think, part of the field where you could say they're kind of equal on is probably the goalkeeper, because Unai Simon has been outstanding.
Apart from his one,
apart from his one blunder,
one slight blunder, yeah.
I was talking to my friend who's Spanish, and he's played at Sevilla, and he loves football, and he watches every Spanish team. And I asked him, I said, this guy Unai Simon, because this was the first time I'd really properly watched him, was that game where he let that goal in. He was like, I don't know what happened there, but in La Liga, he is one of the best goalkeepers, like hands down. Just nobody really knows about him yet. And I think once that mistake happened, from there on, he's almost been flawless. The amount of saves he made in that 5-3 win.
That's true.
The penalty shootout when, Spain missed their first couple, and I was like, okay, that's them gone basically, and he went and saved them basically. So I think between him and Donnarumma, if it goes to penalties, it's going to be a crazy.
It could be a tight one.
It's going to be a tight one. Yeah.
I wonder if we'll have another Manchester United, Villarreal style penalty shootout going on through.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy.
That was wild. That was absolutely wild. And again, like they were all sick penalties as well.
Yeah.
No, I'm really excited for this one. I think it's going to be a tight game, but I could see there being some goals. I mean, if I had to push you for a prediction. What are you saying? I know it's
so difficult because I feel like it's either one of those where it's like 0-0, or it's one of those that's 3-3. It's not going to be in between. I don't know. I'm going to go 2-2 and for it to go to penalties. And I think Spain wins on penalties. I don't know. I don't know why I'm saying Spain. I just have a feeling that Spain just gets to the final somehow, some way. It's just one of those things. So I'm going Spain in the end. But it's going to be a tight one.
It could 100% go either way. I mean, Spain are a team with a long storied history of winning trophies on the international stage. So I think, and they still have players in that side like your Busquets who can sort of carry those less experienced players and give them that advice in those difficult moments. So I could see it going that way. Personally, I don't know whether I'm maybe getting slightly swept up in the Italian hype train. I'm bold. I could see them winning this comfortably. I think if Spain struggle to put chances away again, I don't think that Italy will let them be that sort of unclinical. I'm gonna put my hat on 3-1 Italy. I think Italy are going to get it done and sort of
easy game for Italy.
Yeah, I honestly, I've been so impressed with them when I've watched them, and I thought the quarterfinals they looked outstanding. I think the final scoreline didn't quite paint the whole picture of the game, which I think Italy sort of were comfortable pretty much throughout.
Yeah, I think for Italy, tactically, it'll be easier for them to figure out Spain than the other way around, because Spain seem to only play one way, and that's like I've never watched Spain and seen them have less than like 60%, 55% possession. They only play one way, and that's keeping the ball. With Italy, I think they're going to be more than happy just to sit back, wait for Spain to press, and then they have Immobile and all those guys who are just speedsters to fly down the other end against Pau Torres and Eric Garcia. So I can see Italy winning. I definitely see your point of view. I just have something inside me that's going,
you got a little bit of thinking.
It's going to be Spain. It's going to be Spain. Yeah, I don't know whether it's because they have, guys who won the Europa League, won Champions League, have been there in the 2012 team, know how to win. This Italian team's kind of new, I guess you could say, considering they didn't even make the World Cup that a couple of years ago. So, it's gonna be an interesting one.
Yeah, I mean, as an England fan, I think no matter who, personally, I think I'd rather come up against Italy. I don't know. I mean, either team I think is going to be tough for us. It's going to be...
I feel as though England haven't been against a team who pins them back and has all the possession. I thought that was going to be Germany, but that didn't happen. With Spain, I think are better than Germany. And I don't know how England would react to only having, 30-40% of the ball.
Because I think in the games we've had, we're the ones that usually have enjoyed taking the majority of the possession. Yeah, the
possession. So, Luke Shaw goes up and plays high, and so does whoever's playing right back. So it'll be interesting if Spain get through, and it'll be interesting if Italy get through. We're gonna have a great game.
I think no matter who, and we'll have to. I mean, this is me presuming that England are going to get through, but
I know we might have a Denmark final.
You never know. You never know. We'll save that discussion for tomorrow. I think we're going to drop that video tomorrow. we'll leave it at that. I think. Is there anything else you wanted to bring up?
No.
I think yeah.
Go Spain.
We'll call it there. Go Italy, I think. I don't know. I'm not really sure who I want to win. But yeah, we'll call it there, guys. As I say, keep an eye out for video we're going to drop tomorrow in terms of England, Denmark. We'll have a little chat about them. See who we think has got the best chance of going through to the final from that side of the draw. Thanks again for watching. Make sure you drop that subscribe. Give us a like. Let us know who you think is going to go through. If you want to drop a prediction as well, drop that too. We will leave it there. Thank you very much for watching, guys. See ya.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like hearing us ramble about sports, feel free to subscribe at the top right, check out the next videos on the left, and feel free to leave us a like at the bottom. Thank you guys for watching.